If you factor in the history of this series with the Mariners' real-life history, this ball club has made the ALCS 5 times. This is our 5th appearance, but yet there are no World Series appearances to speak of. The last time we made it to the ALCS in this series, we were dispatched by the Houston Astros, who we, of course, made it past in the last episode in our ALDS matchup. Thank God they didn't have Zach Greinke like they do now in real life, or we would not have made it. And as it stands, we are 4 wins away from finally making it. I've talked about it a lot for this series where there are no restrictions. If anything, it's kind of frustrating that it's taken us this long, even though we knew there would be a bit of a step back and a bit of a retooling process. And unfortunately, there was a secondary retooling process and time frame for this team. But now we might just have the right pieces in place, or at the very least, I hope. This starting rotation is lights out, or at least in theory, it should be. Fukumori somewhat struggled in that first start. The bullpen, well, in terms of overalls, yeah, it's a little bit shaky, but it's fairly well solid, fairly well rounded. It is very solid. And this lineup might not be the strongest on paper, but if everybody plays to the best of their ability, and if Cody Bellinger keeps playing like he really wants a ring, then good things could indeed happen. But obviously certain people, not naming names, I would never ever name names, certain people are going to have to step up if we want to make it past Tampa. I don't want to waste too much time. I want to get right down to business because I want to know if this team is going to disappoint us again. And admittedly, with the real-life MLB trade deadline just passing, I think maybe once the new ride and rosters are out, maybe we look to move on from the Mariners, start up something new. I don't know if I'm going to immediately start up another MLB series. I might. I still obviously enjoy the game. Very addicted to Madden right now. But we'll see. We'll see. But at the very least, we have a few seasons left with this team one way or another. I would like to not have this end as a failure. We've had a couple of failures in the past few years when it comes to teams not ultimately winning, and I can only hope that this team will not join that group. This is the rotation that we're up against. Wow. Jose De Leon at a 96 overall, got roughed up in his first start, but pretty damn good. I mean, a 4.53 ERA, which is actually his career average. Shane McClanahan, now at a 92 overall. And Sean Manaea, 99 for the 34-year-old veteran, technically a 95. Fernando Romero, also in that rotation. And Aaron Slagers, 80 rated at 33 years old. The bullpen's pretty damn well stacked. Hildenberger is the long reliever. Chargois, Simber, and Rick Rodriguez. And then the back half, I mean, Kella, Hunter Wood, and Emilio Pagan. That is tough to beat. That is very tough to beat. But if you look at their starters, they're beatable. At least they have been thus far. Manaea, not so much. Not so much. Lineup-wise, in terms of what we are up against, we are looking at this team. And there's a couple of interesting names on it. C.J. Durant, first and foremost. Great mustache for the 22-year-old. Alex Bregman, as if we didn't have enough trouble dealing with him in Houston. And Jimenez, who, boy, that's a very Jimenez-like batting average, isn't it? It is a very Jimenez-like batting average. Over the past 2 years, really the 2.5 years since he's left, he's turned more into what you would expect him to be, which of course he did because we got rid of him. But in the playoffs thus far, he's been pretty bad. We'll see if he turns it on. Nomar Mazara there as well. Amadis Diaz hitting 192. Jesus Sanchez as an 85 rated rookie, 27 years old. And Miguel Amaya, who finally decided that he understands. He knows how to hit. Which, in fairness, once we got rid of him this year, that OPS went up. So we traded him to Tampa, and he just figured it out. So that's not all that surprising. That seems to be the way it happens more often than not. Regardless, as well-rounded as their team is, I still think if we play to the best of our abilities, we can win this. Granted, these ratings don't mean anything, really, from what I've discovered, but the 7th-ranked team against the 6th-ranked team, it's a pretty damn well even matchup. Best of 7, let's get down to it. Can the Mariners finally make it to a World Series, or are we teetering on the edge of complete and utter failure? They've had the pitching advantage. We've had the slight batting advantage through our collective roads thus far. We're at the Trop for Game 1. We are... Oh, man. We're going to run Barrios. I'm scared, though, because I'd like him to outduel Manea. But we're going to run with Jose Barrios here. He is our ace for a reason. Let's do this. Game 1. 4 wins away from a World Series. Can we get there is the question. And a big solo shot from Cody Bellinger to cap off a relatively quiet first half inning. Barrios gives up a single to Bregman. Jimenez into a fielder's choice. Mazzara flies out. Well done from him. Mateo, nothing doing. Heinlein, nothing doing. Garcia, nothing doing. Not a great start from anybody not named Cody Bellinger, but a 1-2-3 inning there from Barrios. Mitra, Serrano, Little. Wow, it's just Bellinger thus far who's been able to get a hit for us. And it's another 1-2-3 inning there. So quickly, we're on to the 4th inning. Still 1-0 thanks to Bellinger's solo shot as James Field gets our first base hit of the game. It's a leadoff single, gets the follow-up steal. We're not going to bunt with Bellinger, and in a way it's all right because he moved Field over. RBI chance for Jimmy Voorhees, and he walks. We're going to go for the steal. Yes, that's a huge steal. Pablo Mateo, RBI chance, cannot succeed. That brings up Tom Heinlein, who does. He reaches on an error. I'll take it. That is another run. We're up by 2 now. Heinlein, I mean, hey, you got on base. Garcia, no follow-up. We strand 2 runners, but we at least add to the lead. Jimenez with a solo shot. You knew he'd hit a home run. A walk to Diaz with 2 outs. Sanchez with a 2-run shot. And just like that, the Rays take the lead. No wasted opportunities there. That is a bit brutal from Barrios to allow 2 home runs in that half inning. And there's another one. Velasquez, the Rays living and dying on the long ball, but they are up 4-2 because of it. As Field walks, he gets the steal. Bellinger can't bunt him or can't bump him, can't hit him over. Voorhees strikes out. Mateo strikes out. So they're picking up where they left off in terms of being absolute disappointments. And a 1-2-3 inning there from Barrios, but we are down by 2. Heinlein, nothing. Garcia, nothing. Mitra with a single. Will have to go for the steal, and he gets caught. Didn't have to, but worth being aggressive. Can we get one more half inning out of Barrios here? Sanchez singles. Amaya strikes out. Kiermaier strikes out. Velasquez grounds out. So we go to the 8th, down by 2. Will they leave on De Leon? They will not. Kella, I was going to say Keone Kella, and I just went with Kella. Kella's brought on. Serrano pops up. Little lines out. Field pops up. We are in trouble. That'll do it for Barrios. We will... we'll bring on Edwin and just see what he can do. Durant, leadoff double. Bregman flies out. Jimenez strikes out. Mazzara and the lead runner's thrown out trying to go home. So we go to the 9th, down by 2. We need some runs. Bellinger against Emilio Pagan. He strikes out. Voorhees doubles. Mateo is the tying run. He walks. Heinlein can do some damage here. And he does! Tom Heinlein! That is what we expect out of him. The clutch 3-run shot. Just his 2nd hit of this postseason. And it's a 5-4 lead for the Mariners. A 3-run home run from Heinlein. And that will do it for Pagan. It's a follow-up double for Garcia. Mitra walks. And that brings up a huge chance now for Adrian Serrano, who pops up. Little, 2 on, 2 outs. Strikes out. And that brings us to this situation here. Edwin Diaz, 3 outs away. Can he get the job done? Diaz strikes out. Sanchez strikes out. Former Mariner Miguel Amaya is done. A 3-run shot from Tom Heinlein. And that is a victory in the books of the Mariners. A blown save for Pagan. Diaz gets the win. Tom Heinlein, the Hein line, the Steiner line. He absolutely crushes it. A gigantic hit there, a clutch hit. Little hitless. Mateo and Serrano as well. Mateo at least with a run scored in that game thanks to the walk. The lineup was struggling, but we end up getting the job done. A clutch 5-4 victory. 3 wins away from our first World Series appearance. We go to Game 2 in Tampa. It will be Mackenzie Gore on the mound against Shane McClanahan. Lineup-wise, I mean, we have 3 guys in the middle of the lineup who just aren't doing anything. Voorhees is there to not have a lower morale, but I mean, damn, we have a lot of guys who just aren't hitting. It's proving to be very top-heavy right now. And it's a tough call because when you have that many people struggling, you might as well just stick with what you have. You might as well. I mean, we've tried other people. We know Julio's playing well. Worst case, we get him back into the lineup. I'm not against that. But for the moment, we are coming off of a win, so we'll stick with it. Little leads off against McClanahan. Field with a 1-out single. Gets the steal. Bellinger walks. Big chance early on for Jimmy Voorhees, who walks. Pablo Mateo, one of our key players this season, and really over the past 3 years, or 2.5, since we have acquired him from the Dodgers. Can he deliver here? Bases loaded, 1 out. He lines out. Heinlein had an extremely clutch hit in the last game. Can he do it again? Yes, he can. It's an RBI single for Heinlein. He's waking up in this series. And again, we take an early lead. Luis Garcia, bases loaded, 2 outs. He will fly out. So ultimately, we do get a run, which is more than I would have thought, but that is a huge wasted opportunity, as we'll see what Mackenzie Gore can do on the other side. A nice 1-2-3 inning there, as the bottom half of the lineup not getting anything going. Little with the walk. He gets the steal. Field can't bring him home, and we are stranding base runners left and right. It's another 1-2-3 inning for Mackenzie Gore, however, and McClanahan's already tired. Bellinger strikes out. Voorhees singles. Will go for the steal, and he gets it. Mateo strikes out. Heinlein, another clutch hit. An RBI single. We're up by 2. Garcia flies out to follow up, however. Amaya Kiermaier with a 1-out double. Edwards with a sac bunt. Velasquez, 2 outs, runner at third. He cannot deliver. Through 3 innings, we're up 2. McClanahan might be subbed out soon. Mitra, Serrano, and Little, nothing doing. Bregman, Jimenez, Mazzara with a 2-out walk. Diaz with a follow-up single. Brings up Sanchez, who strikes out. So still 2-0 through 4. And McClanahan's done. Hunter Wood brought on. He's only pitched a third of an inning thus far. Field grounds out. Bellinger strikes out. Voorhees flies out, and that will certainly help Wood's whip. Amaya Kiermaier with a 1-out single. Edwards a follow-up. Velasquez strikes out. Alex Bregman strikes out as well. Gore gets out of trouble. Mateo, Heinlein, and Garcia. 1, 2, 3 in order. So we go to the bottom of the 6th. Jimenez with a leadoff double. Mazzara grounds out. Diaz strikes out. Sanchez flies out. Well done from Gore to rebound there. Mitra leads off the top of the 7th with a solo shot. The lead is extended to 3. Serrano with a follow-up single. Little walks, 2 on, no outs here. Field flies out but moves the runner over. See if we can get the steal with Little. It's risky, and he gets caught. Bellinger drives in a run at the very least. It's 4. Risky move there. Bellinger gets the steal. Voorhees strikes out, though. We go to the bottom of the 7th. Amaya leads off, and he walks. Kiermaier flies out. Edwards drives in a run on the RBI triple. That will do it for Mackenzie Gore. We will bring on... Let's go for Gonzalez. Runner at third with 1 out. Velasquez can't bring him home. Kim Bregman, no, he cannot. So 4-1 through 7 innings. Mateo leads off against Richard Rodriguez, and he walks. Heinlein into a double play. Garcia follow-up single. gets the subsequent steal. Mitra, follow-up single as well. We're going to risk it against Adam Simber. We're going to risk it, and he gets it. Serrano, 2 on, 2 outs. 2 runners in scoring position. Can he deliver? No, he cannot. So we go to the bottom of the 8th, still up by 3 here in Game 2, looking to take that commanding 2-0 lead. Jimenez strikes out. Mazara grounds out. Diaz, 2-out single. Sanchez flies out. We go to the 9th. Simber still on as Little grounds out. Field with the solo shot. And the lead is back up to 4. 5 runs to 1 in favor of the Mariners. Bellinger flies out. Voorhees flies out. Can Anthony Gonzalez seal the deal? He's got a 4-run cushion to work with. Amaya strikes out. Kiermaier flies out. Edwards walks. That brings up Velasquez, who is done and dusted. The Mariners are up 2. We take both games in Tampa to begin this series. Mackenzie Gore with a gem. Anthony Gonzalez gets the job done in relief. And James Field leads the way. 2 for 5, 2 runs, a home run, and RBI, a stolen base. We are 2 wins away. 2 wins away. Little has been extremely quiet this far in this series. The 2 walks, though. Mateo with a walk, but he's been near useless so far this postseason. We head home for games 3 through 5. 5 if necessary. Game 3, we might be looking at some slight changes, some slight tweaks to the lineup. It is going to be Alex Nakayama getting the ball. And in terms of the lineup, oh, it's tough. I just can't believe Mateo's doing as badly as he is, you know? I think a game on the bench won't be too bad for him. Let's bring in Julio. And we'll bring on Julio. We'll play Mitra in center. And we'll leave Julio in that 5 spot and see what he can do, because he was doing quite well when he played. Jimmy Voorhees as well has been brutal. Can't Little play third? He can play short. Garcia can play third. So let's put him there. Little at short. And Jimmy Voorhees will take a seat. He will sit for Warner Sylvester. Easy for me to say. So lineup-wise, Heinlen's heated up a little bit. We will go with something similar to that right there. Actually, we'll leave Serrano at the back end. Slight change to the lineup here. Alex Nakayama takes the mound. Let's see what we can do. Game 3 here in Seattle, and a 1-2-3 inning to start for Nakayama. Little grounds out. Field with a 1-out double. Bellinger walks. And a big chance here for Tom Heinlen. He strikes out. Julio flies out. Wasted opportunities in the first inning. We'll see if the Rays can make us pay for it. There's a defensive substitution. Is that due to injury? What happened? Gabe Little is hurt. Jimmy Voorhees is in. I mean, I'm disappointed, obviously. Little has been at least was a crucial part to our success against Houston. He's had a quiet series, as we just said. But still, to have him go down to injury is very unfortunate. We'll see what happens from here. Sanchez is down. We get through the top half of the second. Garcia, Mitra with a 1-out double. Sylvester strikes out. Serrano grounds out. And we again strand a base runner, which makes me think they're due for a solo shot any day now. But it won't come in the top of the third. Voorhees strikes out. Field singles. Will go for the steal, and he gets it. Bellinger can't bring him home. Heinlen can't bring him home either. Scoreless through 3. Who will hit the first solo shot of the game? It will not be Jimenez. He'll draw the walk. It will not be Mazara either. A home run is definitely going to break the tie. Julio with a double. We'll try to bunt him over, and we do. Mitra, sac fly, and into a double play somehow. Scoreless through 4. Diaz with a leadoff single, their first hit of the game. Sanchez into a double play. Amaya with a 2-out double. And Kiermaier can't bring him home either. 6 hits, no runs between the two teams. Sylvester flies out. Serrano strikes out. Voorhees grounds out. We're struggling at the plate. Edwards, Velasquez, Bregman hit by a pitch. That brings up Jimenez. And both of them move into scoring position off of an error. Nomar Mazara with 2 outs, walks, bases loaded. Oh, God, for Diaz. Who grounds out? Thank God. Nakayama gets out of it. We go to the bottom of the 6th. Can we get anything going? It's a 1-out single for Bellinger. He gets the steal. Heinlein walks. Julio Rodriguez with the 3-run shot. Oh, baby. That is... I mean, number one, it was a home run. You could just tell by the way the game was. More importantly, a 3-run shot from a guy that we put into Game 3 because of other struggles. Beautiful. What a shot. The biggest hit of Julio Rodriguez's career. That won't do it for Romero, and he gives up a follow-up double to Garcia. Now he's done. Mitra with a runner in scoring position strikes out. Sylvester flies out as well. We go to the 7th. Sanchez, Amaya, Kiermaier, nothing there. As Serrano leads off the bottom of the 7th against Rodriguez, and he walks. Voorhees with the 2-run shot. One of the most disappointing players of this postseason thus far. He subs in due to injury. He hits a 2-run shot that makes this a 5-run game. And Adam Simber is brought on in relief. He strikes out Field, strikes out Bellinger, and gets Heinlein to ground out. We go to the 8th, up by 5. Edwards walks. Velasquez walks. Nakayama's got one chance to get out of this. Bregman drives in a run. That'll do it for Alex Nakayama. And we will be bringing on Miguel Guillen to hopefully get us out of this. RBI single for Jimenez. Mazara reaches on an error. Diaz drives in a run on a fielder's choice. It's a 2-run lead with a 1-out in the inning. Sanchez sack bunts the other runner over. Couldn't get the lead runner home. Amaya flies out. Thank God. We avoid disaster, but the lead is down to 2. So we go to the bottom of the 8th. Rodriguez against Kella, and a defensive substitution for them. Rodriguez walks. Doesn't really have the speed at first. And again, so one thing we're really lacking right now is pinch hitting or pinch running. Garcia, fielder's choice. We'll go for the steal. He gets it. Mitra strikes out. Sylvester drives in a run. I was about to say, well, I guess he wasted his opportunity. A clutch 2-out RBI single. We're back up by 3. And the follow-up steal from Sylvester. Can Serrano bring him home? No, he cannot, but he tried. As we go to the 9th. Up by 3. 3 outs away from a 3-0 series lead. 3-3, 3-3, 3-3-3. Kiermaier grounds out. Edwards is hit by a pitch. Velasquez. 2-run shot. It's a 1-run game. Edwin, get us out of this. Bregman flies out. And Edward Olivares, not a former Mariner, but can he come up with a clutch hit? He singles. Mazara represents the winning run potentially. And he grounds out. The Seattle Mariners are 1 win away from their first ever World Series appearance. Nakayama with a gem up until the end. Diaz is able to get us out of it. The big story, Julio Rodriguez and the injury to Gabe Little. But we do survive, and we are 1 win away. Heinlein was hitless, but he did have a walk. He was the only player who played the entire game. That was hitless. Is this finally the team? And it's weird, because in a way, I mean, I have a love for some of these players. Like, I really want Fukumori to succeed, but he hasn't been here for that long. And it's not as if, I mean, I can't say that we don't have mercenaries. We do. We brought in James Field from the Giants. We ended up with Cody Bellinger. Voorhees and Mateo, these guys weren't ours. So maybe it doesn't feel as special as it could. We'll see. We shall see. And maybe it's disappointing too because so many of them are struggling. Well, we still need to win one more game. And they're sending out their ace, Sean Manaea, to keep them alive in this series. In response, we go with Tadahito Fukumori and we'll see if he can get the job done. Lineup-wise, we are going to factor in the energy for Heinlein and put Siegler in the lineup. Perhaps controversial, but that is what we're going for. Serrano can play third and first. I don't trust Pablo Mateo, but I also don't trust Serrano. But one of them has to sit because I want to play either Field or Mitra at DH. Probably Field. We're going to play Field at DH, and it's going to be Julio back in the lineup. Sylvester will still probably take a seat, and we'll leave in Jimmy Voorhees. The good thing is Gabe Little is not hurt long term, so we avoided disaster on that one. We'll put Julio ahead of Mateo, Garcia, Mitra, and Siegler. That'll be the lineup for Game 4. We are potentially 9 innings away from making it to the World Series. Can Fukumori get the job done? He does give up a leadoff single to Durant. Fly out for Bregman. Jimenez back in and hits into a double play. Let's see if we can get to Manaea. Can we? We certainly can't to start. Mazzara leadoff double. Diaz lines out. Sanchez grounds out. Amaya strikes out. Not too bad to recover after the leadoff double. Voorhees, Julio, Mateo. Absolutely nothing for either side thus far. Kiermaier, it's another leadoff double. Velasquez walks. Durant into a fielder's choice. Bregman pops up. Jimenez, 2 outs, runners at the corners. And it's a 3-run shot. Eloy Jimenez. You knew he'd be a thorn in our side in this series. Mazzara, a follow-up single. Diaz flies out. 3-0 Tampa. Garcia leads off the bottom of the third. He walks. Can't get the steal. Mitra flies out. Siegler singles. Little walks. Chance here for James Field. And he grounds out, unfortunately. 3-0 Tampa through 3 in a must-win elimination game for them. Sanchez, another leadoff double. Amaya flies out. Kiermaier drives in a run. And that's going to do it for Fukumori. That is. He is done. I don't know if Barrios is good to go for the next game. He's going to have to be. We're bringing on Brendan McKay. He was the ringer that we picked up from Tampa after all. Durant strikes out. 4-0 for the Rays. Can the offense get anything going against Manaea? And the answer is no, at least in that half inning. Leadoff single for Bregman, a follow-up walk. Mazzara into a fielder's choice. Runners at the corners again. Diaz sac flies in their 5th run. Sanchez flies out. 5-0 Tampa. As we do hit a solo shot with 2 outs. Ray Mitra, we at least break the shutout. Still down by 4. Another 2-out single for Siegler. Little can't do anything about it, though. As Amaya walks to start off the 6th. Kiermaier strikes out. Velasquez walks as well. Durant drives in a run. On the RBI single, it's 6-1. Bregman pops up. Jimenez is hit by a pitch. Bases loaded for Nomar Mazzara, and he grounds out. So we avoid complete disaster, but we trail by 5 yet again. Field, Bellinger singles. Voorhees flies out. Julio grounds out. Down 6-1. Heading into the 7th. Not liking our chances here. A 1-out single for Sanchez. Amaya drives him in on an RBI double. So many doubles allowed this game. Kiermaier strikes out. Velasquez strikes out. It's a 7-1 deficit. They have scored at least 1 run in every inning since the 3rd. 5 in a row. Mateo, Garcia, Mitra. We have nothing for their ace. Let's throw Ridley out there for now. Why not? Durant, Bregman, Jimenez. 1, 2, 3. Siegler grounds out. Little singles. And that will do it for Manaea. Little gets the steal. Field can't bring him home, nor can Bellinger, as he's thrown out at home. We go to the top of the 9th, down 7-1, and it's looking like the celebration has been put on standby. 2-run shot for Sanchez. It is 9-1, and the Rays are not done yet, is what we have learned here today, unless we pull off a miracle here. Voorhees leadoff double. Rodriguez strikes out. Mateo flies out. Garcia grounds out. The Rays win it 9-1. Way to show those home fans some support, boys. Way to really show up for them. A fairly brutal game. And just an abysmal start from Fukumori. He just couldn't handle the pressure of it. Simply couldn't handle the pressure of it. We go to Game 5, the last home game in this series, no matter what. Our second of, at the most, 4 opportunities to close out this series. I want to save Barrios for 6 in case we need him. I mean, we could get a couple of innings out of Barrios. I think we're going to go with Damon North here, and that's what I was considering if Barrios wasn't truly good to go. This is a tough one. Do we go with Barrios on low rest, Gore on low? I think, you know what, we got to go with Barrios. We got to go for the kill shot. And if he's not ready, then hey, we sub in Damon North. Barrios is on. Lineup-wise, I don't know, because we have 3 normal starters who are still hitting under a 2. Siegler did well, though. He's going to be back in for Heinlein. Serrano will probably... well, maybe we'll have Bellinger play first. Have Mitra in center. Mateo out for Julio. And I don't know what we're going to do for Jimmy Voorhees, because it's not as if Sylvester's been all that exciting. But then again, say we sit Voorhees and we go with Kevin Hoff. He was only given 2 at-bats. Kevin Hoff can play right. Julio can only play the outfield, but Mitra can play second and short. So we have Garcia swap with Mitra. Have Garcia at third. Mitra back at short, his natural position. We'll play Hoff in right, which is a bit scary. Julio will play left, and Field will be in center. We'll handle it that way, so it'll be Little, and I don't know who the hell's going to hit behind him. I don't. I mean, Julio deserves that top 4 spot right now. Siegler is up there, as scary as that is, but he only has the 6 at-bats. At least Julio's up to 14. You know, so maybe we go Hoff and Siegler there at the bottom. Serrano, Mitra, Garcia. I think maybe based off of the speed. What if we go with... Man, Mitra's tired too for this game. It's a little bit rough. You know, I'm going to factor that in, even if I shouldn't. We're going to go with Sylvester at second here, potentially. Yeah, so we'll have Little at short, Sylvester at second. And I think I want to change Field to the third option. It's just, do we want Julio hitting second? Probably not with the lack of speed. I'm going to go with Garcia, and we'll have Little, Garcia, Field, Bellinger, Julio, Serrano, Siegler, Sylvester, Hoff. Let's try it. Let's try it. So we'll throw it back to Barrios as he starts off very strongly. Let's see what we can do against De Leon. It's a 1-out single for Garcia and a follow-up steal. Field strikes out. Bellinger strikes out. Scoreless first for both teams. 1-2-3 again from Barrios. Julio leadoff single. Serrano walks. Siegler bunt them over. Thank you. Sylvester with the sac fly. He strikes out. Kevin Hoff cannot deliver either. And a big wasted chance for the Mariners there. Amaya grounds out. Kiermaier grounds out. Velasquez as well. So Barrios, strong start for him, but not a strong start at the plate for us in this one. It's another 1-2-3. And I gotta be a little bit concerned about Barrios, but he is gunning them down so far through 4. Leadoff walk for Bellinger. Gets the steal. Julio can't bunt him over. Serrano does. Siegler can't bring him home. More wasted base runners early on here. Makes you think they're going to strike first. Mazzara leadoff single. Diaz into a double play. Sanchez strikes out. We go to the bottom of the 5th. Just 3 hits in this game thus far. Sylvester strikes out. Hoff flies out. Little, 2-out double. Garcia drives him in. Shockingly. Back-to-back 2-out doubles. Little and Garcia. And the Mariners take the lead. Field pops up, and we go to the 6th. Just 1-0. 5 hits between the two teams, but back-to-back doubles sees us with the lead. Amaya leads off, and it's a leadoff triple. Kiermaier can't bring him home. Velasquez can't bring him home. Durant can. So close yet so far. RBI single for C.J. Durant. This game is tied. Bregman walks, and this might not be over. Jimenez strikes out, thank God. We go to the bottom of the 6th. 1 run apiece. Bellinger singles. Can he get the steal? Yes, he can. Julio bunts him over. Serrano gets the sac fly. The lead is restored. It's 2-1. And Siegler grounds out as we go to the 7th. Barrios, what do we do? What do we do? Because if we take him out now... No, we're not taking him out. We're not doing it. Mazzara flies out. Diaz doubles. Sanchez ties this game. Barrios is done now. I don't think we have any choice. Gonzalez is on. This game is tied. Amaya into a double play. Will De Leon be out? He will. Rodriguez is on. Sylvester grounds out. Hoff flies out. Little with a 2-out triple. Huge opportunity for Luis Garcia, who delivers. And then some. Luis Garcia, not exactly a power hitter, but a 2-run shot. He's 3 for 4. And the Mariners have a 2-run lead. A 2-run lead. 4-2. Here in the 7th, Field flies out as we go to the 8th. 2 innings away with a 2-run lead. Can Gonzalez shut them down here in the 8th? As Olivares is brought on for Kiermaier and he gets a single. Velasquez strikes out. Durant into a double play. We are 3 outs away. We are 3 outs away from the World Series. Bellinger against Simber. He doubles. Julio bunts him over. Serrano walks. Siegler can't get the sac fly. Sylvester gets the single that makes it a 3-run game. Can he get the steal? Yes, he can. Kevin Hoff will be taken out. Probably for Ray Mitra, who walks. Gabe Little. We're already up by 3. Bases loaded. 2 outs in the bottom of the 8th. Can Gabe Little deliver? That is the question, and we're going to find out if Gabe Little can deliver. As we do, we'll be leaving it up to the players themselves. Kella brought on to face Gabe Little. And a high inside fastball misses. Will this be the extra bit of insurance that we need? We'll stick with this game until the end. Kella fouled off down the right field line by Little.
Serrano on third. Sylvester over at second. Mitre at first. 2 out in the inning.
Here's the 1-1 from Kella.
1 and 2.
And it's in there for the 1-2. Another fastball.
And action now in the Tampa Bay pen as it looks like a right-hander's begun to get loose.
A nondescript right-hander because he doesn't have a name that anybody can properly pronounce. The 1-2 for Little. A chance for insurance. Can he get it? The pitch, swing and a miss. Kella guns him down. We will go to the 9th with 3 runs worth of supports. Will that be enough? We are 3 outs away from our first ever World Series appearance. Edwin has been brought on. Edwin is the man. The veteran that we held on to. It is the biggest stage of his career. I stand by that statement. Getting Seattle to a World Series on the line here in Game 5. Bregman will lead off their 2 3s and 4s. Can we shut him down is the question. 3 outs away from finally having a chance at winning it all. And 98-mile-an-hour fastball misses high for Edwin.
Head-to-head against Edwin Diaz.
The rally towels are out. It's a moment that Mariners fans haven't been able to think of, to dream of, since 2001. And they lost that series in 5 games. The closest we've already won more games in the playoffs than the Mariners ever have. They've never won 3 games in an ALCS. We've already made history. As Diaz gets him swinging and missing on the 2-0. We've already made history. But we don't want it to stop there. Just being like, well, we were more successful than they ever were. That's not enough. We want to win it all. Diaz misses. 3-1 to Bregman, and you could see this going poorly, potentially. It's a little bit scary. The 3-1 from Diaz. Can he get him? Bregman fouls down the right field line. Full count. The 6th pitch from the veteran. Hit out to right, playable. Mitra's there in foul territory. 1 down. 2 to go, and here comes the former Mariner, Eloy Jimenez. What justice it would be, after we thought he was the one that would lead us, or at least one of them, to put him down en route to that World Series appearance. Nobody biting on the inside fastballs, though, Edwin. Maybe think of doing something different, please. Please, please, please. Look at that guy's knees in the background. Diaz, high pitch. Hit the shallow left. Jimenez goes down to Rodriguez. The Mariners are 1 out away. Here comes Nomar Mazara. 1 more out. And damn it, we're finally there. That's step 1. Just make it to a World Series, which I started to doubt we would ever do in this series. And now here we are, 1 out away.
Here's the first pitch.
Again, missing on a high fastball for that first pitch is Diaz. Only 1 hit from Mazara off of Diaz in 7 attempts. Can Edwin get the job done? The 1-0. Another high fastball misses. Hit 100 on the gun. Doesn't mean a damn thing if it's not accurate. Who checks their phone, buddy? Look at that guy in the background. Check this phone. Diaz gets him at the knees. 2-1. 2 strikes away. Come on, Edwin. Here's the pitch. Into play. Julio is there. And history's been made. For the first time in their history, the Mariners have won the pennant. We are going to the World Series. Finally, after so many moves and so much doubt.
They're now the American League champs. They're going to celebrate tonight, and then they're going to have to refocus for a run at the ultimate prize, the World Series trophy. Can't wait.
Well, the lineup was clicking for him.
Luis Garcia, the unibrow, the hero of the day.
Yeah, no question. He was a
Eat your heart out, Anthony Davis.
ended up collecting 3 knocks, including a home run. So without
Luis Garcia, tremendously done. We beat the Tampa Bay Rays in 5. Jose Barrios and company getting the job done. The Mariners to the World Series for the very first time. We are 4 wins away from making history. We've already made history. But those 4 wins, those were just the first 4 that we wanted. Winning the pennant is nice, but it's not all that we wanted. There is still one more mountain to climb. I haven't paid attention at all to the other series, so I have no idea who this is going to be against, or if it's even confirmed. It will still be either, of course, the Mets or the Phillies. That series currently going to Game 6 with the Mets in the lead. Can they seal the deal today? Or today? They cannot. Game 7 between the Phillies and the Mets. I want to see what we're up against, and at the very least, that means in the next episode we can just jump right into it. This is the Mets rotation. Chirinos, Jameson, Tyon, Taijuan Walker, Mullins, and Japucki. That bullpen, solid. I mean, Richards and Peterson as long relievers, it's solid. I mean, 82, 84, 88, 89. Very, very solid bullpen for them. In comparison to the Phillies, they have Chavez, Michael Fulmer, Brad Keller, Corbin Burns, and Cole Swervin Irvin. Bullpen-wise, a little bit weaker, though, with the likes of Herrera and Presley. So, I mean, in terms of who we'd rather play, I think I'd rather play the Phillies if we're talking about pitching. In terms of the lineups, the Mets look like this. Ahmed Rosario, Daniel Robertson, Brandon Nimmo, Michael Conforto, Lourdes Gurriel Jr., Andre Jimenez, Dalton Varsho, Steven Duggar, and Estevan Florial. Some decent options on the bench as well. The Phillies, on the other hand, line up like this. Jesse Winker, Roman Quinn, Bryce Harper at 33 years old, Miguel Sano, Jake Lamb, Alec Baum, Scott Kingery, Nick Madrigal, and Rodolfo Duran. They have some killers on the bench. Matt Davidson, Dilson Herrera, and Nicky Delmonico. Who would I rather face out of that? I don't know. I mean, that's dangerous. Regardless, we will be facing one of those 2 teams, and it will be the New York Mets. Mariners and Mets in the World Series. The Mets beat the Phillies in 7. And again, the Mariners have never won. The Mets looking for their first World Series victory since 1986. Unless they've won here in this series, I don't remember if they have. In terms of awards, Bellinger, right now on pace to be postseason MVP for us. And actually, they did win the World Series 2 years ago. Dilson Herrera. So they're looking for their second title in 3 years. I thought that they had won recently. Postseason MVP right now for them. Nimmo is up there. The Mets looking for another title. The Mariners looking for their first. How much longer do we have left in this series before we maybe look for a little bit of a refresh? I don't know. But needless to say, if we were to end it somewhat soon, winning the World Series would make that decision much, much easier.